So guys, I want to talk about mental health. Sorry, I suffer from hay fever. My nose is getting really itchy. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you guys out there. So mental health seriously is a massive problem, as we know. I have not got no scripts at the moment, so never normally do scripts. As you know, my channel is raw talk. It comes out the way it comes out, so be it. You know, many people definitely don't like it, but hey, that's what my channel is about. Talking about things that people don't really talk about. Okay, so basically, you've got so many people out there with mental health issues and they're not seeking the help. If you know something is mentally challenging you and you feel really low and depressed and you feel you can't talk to somebody, please seek help. You know, with a doctor, even 111 in the UK, or I'm not sure with other countries, but you know, I'm sure you have a line that you can call to speak anonymously. If not, even a friend. Sometimes it is nice to talk to, I know it sounds crazy, but strangers, because you're still getting it off your chest in a way. You know, at clubs, at a bus stop, you know, you just get talking to people in general. But the thing is, sorry, just had to speak to my son a minute. But yeah, okay, male and female out there, it attacks all of us human beings. You know, there is a spectrum of it where you do have mental illnesses, well, mental issues. These days you don't even know how to use the word, because there's always a problem with how whether you do illness or issues or whatever, but we all have mental problems. You know, you've got medium, you've got low, you've got severe. We all have it. Stress is a mental problem. You know, relationships, children, you know, bills, they're all mental problems. But it's about the severity of it. I also want to say as well, I have to touch on this area as well with like kids. For me, with my two boys, you know, they're black or coloured, you know, yet again, you can't use that word anymore, but yeah, I'm a black person, you know, I'm going to use it anyway. But that's fine, it's not racist. I don't think it is anyway. But anyway, I don't feel, basically for me, I have had mental health issues, you know, mental health problems. I'll touch that in a minute. But like I was saying, I've got two young black boys that are my children. I've got one who's 14 and another who is 11. I don't even feel safe with my kids even going to the corner shop, because you've got people attacking you just for the way they're looking or whatever. You know, it's not safe anymore at all. As a parent, it has affected me mentally as well. You know, this is why I'm using this example. I feel scared every time, you know, if he's like 5-10 minutes late, my eldest son, coming back from school, you know, and this is because of what is going on out there with other teenagers, you know, and there is ways that this can stop as well with parents, you know, with gun crime, knife crime. Parents need to step up as well and start putting actions and precautions where, you know, they're checking their kids' bags, that there's no knives, checking your kids' rooms, you know, looking in secret departments, whatever, in your lot's houses. You know, you guys need to do that. You know, male and female parents, not just the female parents. It's both. We're all human beings. We should all be treated the same and blamed the same. You know, it's not right. You know, parents, and then on top of it, for me, I've never brought my kids, you know, toy knives or toy guns, because I believe this is me encouraging them to pick this up. You know, in the future, it's an encouragement, which I don't think parents should do that, because you're saying it's okay. You know, when it's not okay for them to have a gun or a knife in their hand, it's not okay. You know, all of this is mental health. It brings problems. You know, for me, I can't let my kids go out because of certain people out there with guns and knives who's attacking other kids out there. And it's not right for me to isolate my kids or feel isolated myself, or any other human being to feel isolated out there. You know, this needs to stop. It's not good. On top of that, so like I said, I don't have a script. But on top of that now, I will get into my mental health. And I wouldn't say it's so much severe or so much of mental health issues, you know, because it's just me being protective of my kids, like I've always been anyway. Because if you've, like I'm going to say again, you guys need to watch some of my older videos and you would know who I am or what I'm about, you know. But the gist of it, I was raised up in care, sexually abused, all that sort of stuff, you know, while I was living at home. And, you know, a lot of stuff has happened to me. I'm trying to keep this friendly without swearing, because kids need to watch this too. And basically, I've seen psychiatrists for my own needs. You know, whenever I feel a little niggle in my brain that is making me panicky or anxious or anything above that, you know, I'm going straight to the doctors to seek help, because I have always had this mental awareness of my mind and keeping it sane for me to carry on. You know, I'm a very strong-willed person. I'm very strong mentally, you know, and I always make sure my mind doesn't control me and make me do the wrong things that I'm not supposed to do, or treat people a certain way because of my past and my traumas. My diagnosis from my psychiatrist is trauma, PTSD, panic attacks, anxieties, ADHD, OCD, and autism. You know, autistic traits, sorry, let's correct that, because I'm not high on the spectrum, but I do have it. But so at the end of the day, I do deal with mental issues, but I try to control it. Just like today, my eldest son said he would like to go out, you know, but yeah, it made me panic, but I still overcame that and said, okay, fine, you can go out, but for like 2-3 hours, you know. And I don't like him traveling, so if he wants to go to a shop, I say, okay, fine, go to the shop around, like, I always tell him to go early morning. This is when there's like less people out, so it's less risk, do you know. So I tell him to go maybe about between 8 and 10, do you know what I mean? So I'd wake him up if it's like weekend or something, because you know more people's out at that time from schools and, you know, colleges and, you know, youth clubs or whatever, you know, it's holidays or weekends, you know. So it's all about taking precautions, people. But yeah, going back on my mental health, all these stuff are triggers for me. You know, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh, I'm coping and whatnot and blah, blah. All these stuff are triggers, you know. For him going out, I start panicking. Oh my gosh, something's going to happen to him. What if he looks at someone and blah, blah. I tell him every time to walk with his head down on the floor. Do you know what I mean? So that way, if he looks at someone's not going to say, oh, what are you looking at me for, blah, 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 and start attacking him. You know, all these stuff is mental health problems for me. You know, I feel like we're constantly isolated. I'm sure a lot of people, human beings out there, feel the same way. You know, it is so horrible, and, you know, I get so anxious about it. And then, you know, because I've been raped, see, I'm sharing with you guys. So because I've been raped, you know, as you guys know, I'm not going to go into it right now because I don't even want to talk about them. But, you know, me being at home and being raped and whatnot when I was like 9 to the age of 13, it affected me. So up until the age of like 22, I still kept on seeing like these people, you know, who rapes me on top of me instead of my partner. And now I've got a daughter who is sharing a room with her two brothers, you know, because of housing problems and whatnot. You know, I'm constantly panicking, but my kids know about my life and they know not to be doing that stuff and whatnot. And I've asked my daughter, have they touched you or anything like that? You know you can talk to me about anything, you'll never get in trouble. I'll make her aware of this, you know. And I said to them as well, it can happen to them too, as in my two boys, you know. But all these stuff, it affects you mentally, and this is what people out there need to understand. The things that they do, it's gonna constantly be a cycle, because you're affecting people mentally, not just physically, mentally. You're affecting them for the rest of their life, and it's not good, you know. It needs to stop. And you people that's out there that's doing this to people, you have to remember, most probably someday you're going to have kids of your own, and you don't want them to go through the stuff that you're putting other people through. It is not right, you know. It needs to stop, you know. But I thought I should still share some stuff about my mental health issues, you know, because everything's not all hunky-dory and this and that. And you see other people out there, even celebrities, they make things all hunky-dory and whatnot. Stop believing what you see on the internet. It's not true. They've still got their problems. Do you know what I mean? I'm not coming on here to make you guys be like me. I'm coming on here to help you guys and to make you guys understand my experiences, why I've got this channel. You know, I've got this channel for a reason. So that way you guys can learn from my experiences and what not to do or what to do, you know. But I'm not here to change you guys. I can only say what I can say to guide you guys, you know. But yeah, I'm sure I had more to talk about, but I can't even think about any more, except for watch as well who you're going with. You know, you don't know these people. If you're gonna be with somebody, make sure you get their IDs and whatnot. You know, even if you're going on a date, seriously, that one-time date, guys, please, male or female, please know who you're going out with, and make sure you get a picture of this person's ID so you can send it to a friend. Seriously, this is getting ridiculous. So many people out there dying because they're not giving that information as well. And when you do give that information to your friend, you make sure you tell that person that you're going out on a date with, oh, do you know what? I've given your ID as my safety, you know, my safety buddy. So you make them aware. If you commit a crime against me, they know where to find your ass. Do you know what I mean? So yes, and this is for everybody. Do this, male and female, do this. Seriously, because it's not a joke. Don't play with your life. And then on top of that as well, these men beater, women beater. Stop it. Stop being cowardly, man. It is not right. Yet again, it is not right. Do you want someone beating up on you? No. Do you want someone beating up on your kids, your mother, and all that sort of stuff? No. So stop doing it to other people. Seriously. And it's affecting people, and those people that's with people in a relationship, please get away. Just get away. Seriously, you do not deserve that. You deserve better. You deserve someone that's going to treat you properly, mentally and physically, you know, because all of that is, yet again, mental issues. This is why I'm bringing this up. It needs to stop. Guys, seriously, male and female out there, we're human beings. Come on, let's start acting like it. Not vicious, wild animals. Even animals act better, seriously. But this is why I say wild, vicious animals. Because that's how human beings are acting. And it is so, so wrong, and it needs to stop. Seriously. But okay, guys, that is enough. This is one of my longest videos I have done in a long time. But I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. and treat yourself well and treat other people well. Mwah. Bye, guys.